Imagine a world where the climate crisis isn't some far-off thing, but it's here right now, a catastrophe.
Hmm.
And humanity's response.
Hmm.
It's desperate, it's messy, but maybe surprisingly hopeful.
Yeah, it's not really about if we survive anymore in this picture.
Right. It's about how survival might actually feel.
Yeah,
The bureaucracy of it, the emotions.
exactly.
So today we're doing a deep dive into Kim Stanley Robinson's, well, it's really a monumental novel from 2020, The Ministry for the Future.
Mm-hmm.
Our mission isn't just to summarize. We want to unpack its really daring premise, that fascinating structure uses lots of voices, and how he manages to turn policy, things like policy documents, into really pulse-pounding plot points.
Which sounds impossible, but he does it.
He really does. We'll look at the unexpected heroes, the tech, which feels plausible, sometimes terrifyingly so, and just the legacy of a book that asked you to face the future head on.
Not as some distant problem, but as something right here, right now, maybe even solvable.
And the insights we're sharing today, they come from a pretty comprehensive review of the book itself, looking at this big thought experiment from different angles.
Okay, so where do we start? The book throws you right in, doesn't
It
it?
absolutely does. We land in 2025, and Robinson hits us with this event.
Yeah.
It's horrific, almost feels prophetic now, a devastating heat wave in Uttar Pradesh. Can you maybe paint a picture of that opening and this idea of wet bulb temperatures?
Yeah, absolutely. The depiction is chilling. It's clinical. 20 million people die in a week.
20 million.
And those wet bulb temperatures are key. It's not just the thermometer reading. It's that lethal mix of extreme heat and humidity.
Right.
Where your body just, well, it can't cool itself down anymore by sweating. It fails.
The systems just collapse.
Totally. Hospitals are overwhelmed, fail. The rivers grimly become mass graves. It's an immediate, visceral way to plunge you into the crisis. No holding back.
Wow. That scale of disaster,
Yeah.
it's almost unimaginable. And this catastrophe, it isn't just a dark beginning, is it? It's the trigger.
It's the absolute catalyst for the whole story, yes. This disaster forces the world, specifically the UN, to charter a totally new kind of body.
The Ministry for the Future.
Exactly, headquartered in Zurich. And what's really fascinating, maybe revolutionary, is its purpose. Its stated goal is to represent the voiceless generations to come.
People not yet born.
People not yet born, the planet itself, maybe. We meet its nominal head, Mary Murphy. She's a seasoned Irish diplomat.
And her job description must be unique.
Oh, completely. Negotiating with central banks, trying to cajole petrostates, oil-dependent nations, even coordinating clandestine geoengineering projects.
Stuff that's not in any standard HR manual.
Not at all. The book kind of suggests the ministry's real office isn't just Zurich. It's everywhere carbon is counted, everywhere futures are, well, being mortgaged. The mandate is huge, unprecedented, really.
Okay, so you have Mary Murphy heading this thing, facing this impossible task.
Yeah.
You maybe expect this story to just focus tightly on her, right, her struggle. But Robinson goes way broader.
He really does. It's a bold move, formally speaking. He uses over 100 different point of view fragments.
100, wow.
Yeah. So it's not just Mary. We hear from, like you said, carbon molecules, photons. Seriously. And refugee children, blockchain ledgers, the market itself gets a voice.
Okay, that's wild. Is it just a gimmick or does it serve a purpose?
No, it's not just literary showmanship. It feels like a radical way to reframe who or what has agency in the climate fight. It suggests that all these perspectives, collective, non-human, even conceptual ones, are actually essential if we're going to grasp the problem, let alone tackle it.
So it decentralizes the whole idea of survival. It's not one hero.
Exactly. It challenges the whole notion of a single hero, or even just human hero. Some critics called it a planetary nervous system.
I like that, planetary nervous system. But okay, if you have this huge, sprawling view, voices from molecules, how do you make that into a plot that moves, that has suspense? Doesn't it risk feeling, I don't know, academic?
You'd think so, but that's where the genius, I think, really lies. And it's one of the most surprising things about the book. He manages to create these incredibly tense moments from, well, seemingly dry subjects.
Like what?
Okay, take Mary, trying to convince the G20 nations to adopt a new global currency, the carbon coin.
Right, I read about that.
It's not presented as just a policy debate in a conference room. It's this high-stakes negotiation where if they fail, the global economy could just tank. The threat feels immediate. It's genuinely gripping.
So the ticking clock isn't a bomb, it's economic collapse.
Exactly. Or think about the sequence where they sabotage a fleet of private jets using swarms of autonomous drones. But it's not James Bond stuff. It's powered by open source firmware. It's more like, nerds building tools in a garage to save the world.
Huh. Okay, that reframes the thriller genre a bit.
It really does. Even hacking the Chicago Mercantile Exchange to force a spike in the carbon price, it gives you that same kind of adrenal rush as watching a bank robbery unfold.
Because the stakes are the planet.
Precisely. Policy feels as urgent as a hostage crisis. The suspense isn't will the bomb go off, it's will they sign the treaty before the next heat dome hits.
That's a brilliant way to connect the abstract policy stuff to immediate, visceral danger. Okay, and speaking of the people involved, Mary Murphy is central, the sort of calm eye of the storm. But the real energy seems to come from elsewhere, this idea of distributed heroism.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. Another really insightful thing Robinson does is show how revolution, or big change, actually happens. It's not, a vanguard storming the palaces.
He's a single leader.
Not really. Instead, you get characters like Frank May. He's an American aid worker, totally traumatized by that opening heatwave disaster in Uttar Pradesh.
Understandably.
And he becomes the sort of one-man insurgency. He starts kidnapping oil executives.
Oh.
Yeah, and just lecturing them about methane leaks. Or there's Badim, a Sudanese technologist. He designs these solar-powered irrigation grids that also function as safe zones for refugees.
Wow. So it's practical, ground-level change.
Exactly. Robinson's making a radical point, I think. Change is going to come from these mid-level planners, these dedicated people who just decide, okay, enough shuffling papers, let's rewrite the rules. Often from inside the systems they want to change.
A kind of pragmatic activism.
Very pragmatic.
Okay, beyond the bureaucratic fights and these sort of new wave thrills, the book is packed with technology. And it feels incredibly researched, plausible. It makes these future solutions seem almost within reach.
Oh, definitely. It's a treasure trove. Things like pumped hydro batteries, but carved into alpine valleys, giant towers in Iceland sucking CO2 directly out of the air.
Direct air capture.
Yeah. And even these huge glacier siphons. The idea is to pump meltwater back uphill onto glaciers to slow sea level rise by refreezing it.
That sounds massive.
It is. And Robinson describes it all with enough detail for the engineers, but it's still lyrical, He even describes dark snow. That's when soot darkens ice, making it melt faster.
Right, the albedo effect.
Yeah, he puts it like a haiku. Black carbon lands, ice sweeps, ocean swells. It's quite poetic.
That blend of science and lyricism is powerful. It makes it feel tangible. But crucially, these aren't presented as magic bullets, are they? The book seems to really emphasize the trade-offs, the complexity.
Absolutely critical point. None of these are portrayed as simple silver bullet salvation. Not at all.
Can you give an example?
Well, take those glacier siphons. Okay, maybe they buy us time against sea level rise. But the book hints at the colossal energy needed to do that. And what about the ecological impact of moving all that water around, refreezing it?
Unintended consequences.
Always. Or geoengineering, which is something Mary's ministry reluctantly explores, things like injecting aerosols into the stratosphere to cool the planet slightly.
Risky stuff.
Hugely risky. Immense, unpredictable potential side effects. Could mess with global weather patterns in ways we just don't understand. So, yeah, these aren't clean wins. They're messy, partial solutions. There are always trade-offs. Just like the real world.
Right. Every solution probably creates new problems to solve.
Pretty much. Keeps reminding you progress is hard-won, never simple.
That nuanced take, it really lifts the story. And it seems to feed into this phrase Robinson himself coined for the book's feel. Optimism of the will, pessimism of the intellect.
Yes, that captures it perfectly.
It sums up that feeling you get reading it, this constant tension between determined hope and grim reality.
And it really makes you question what success even looks like in a fight this big. What does winning mean?
Well, because the ministry does achieve things. Right?
It wins some battles, yeah. The carbon coins do help stabilize emissions eventually. There's a global basic income that reduces desperation, but the cost, it's measured in compromised ideals and exhausted people.
Mary Murphy herself.
Yeah, Mary ends the novel older, definitely grayer, and maybe only modestly triumphant. The planet's still warming, just maybe more slowly than it would have been. The final image in the book is children planting mangroves on a newly rewilded coastline. It feels less like, victory and more like an ongoing negotiation, a continuous effort against entropy.
Pragmatic hope, not naive optimism.
Exactly, acknowledging the huge effort and sacrifices still needed.
So, okay, bringing it back to now. What does all this mean for us? Because this isn't just a story, is it? It seems like this book has actually started to shift real-world conversations. What's its impact been?
It's actually quite fascinating how tangible the legacy has been in some areas. That carbon coin idea, for instance. It's genuinely entered the vocabulary of central bank researchers.
Really?
Yeah. The European Central Bank apparently convened a panel to discuss Robinson's proposal. The governor of Chile's central bank cited the book in a speech back in 2021.
Wow, that's direct influence.
It is. And beyond finance, you hear about activist groups creating open source toolkits inspired by those drone swarm scenes.
Okay, maybe let's not focus too much on the sabotage aspect.
Fair enough. But it shows how it sparked imaginations about how change could happen. More broadly, I think it's shifted the whole genre of climate fiction, moving it away from just depicting the apocalypse.
Which we've seen a lot of.
And towards exploring praxis, the practical application of ideas. What might it actually look like if we tried to implement solutions on a massive scale? It's moved from what if towards how might we?
So, our deep dive into the Ministry for the Future. It's shown us this vision that, yeah, it's not escapism. One source called it infrastructure porn for people who want to believe we can still retrofit civilization in time.
Infrastructure porn, I like that.
It's a novel that earns its sort of its teaching moments, its didacticism, through just sheer imaginative generosity. You finish it feeling exhausted maybe, but also exhilarated and somehow hopeful.
Yeah, against the odds, hopeful.
Not because the crisis is solved in the book, far from it, but because you can kind of glimpse the scaffolding, the messy, complex human way we might actually tackle it, the process of planetary rescue.
The sheer possibility of trying.
The book really asks you to listen differently.
Yeah.
To the spreadsheets, yes, but also the treaties, the protest songs, all the things that might keep those forests standing. It insists we all have a seat at the table.
If we're brave enough to take it.
Exactly. So maybe the final thought for you listening is, what part of this imagined future, this messy process, resonates most strongly with you? And what small, concrete step might that spark in your own thinking or maybe even your actions?